Do you remember the first NFL Today where you were all getting together and people might have been wondering why are we doing a television show before football games, Brent?
Oh, I certainly do. You have to remember it was just a threesome. Jimmy the Greek did not come to the cast until the second year.
Mm-hmm.
We had a 30-minute. It was the first of the live pregame shows. Prior to that, CBS had used Jack Whitaker and Pat Summerall. They taped it on Friday and then played it before they kicked off. And Bob Wessler, who took over the CBS sports department, came to me because I was then doing this local news strip back at the CBS station in Chicago and said, do you think you can do this live? And I said, I don't know why not. They play the games live. Let's give it a shot. So the first picture basically was just a CBS logo, Rich. We didn't use the "You Are Looking Live" until, I don't know, year 2 or 3, I believe. We went from stadium to stadium. But Phyllis George, working with a Miss America, was a treat. Obviously, I had not known Phyllis until August, about a month before we took to the air prior to that first game. Irv Cross I had known very well from his days as a student athlete at Northwestern. And his job was taking care of the washrooms in the dormitory that I was living in. And he would change the paper towels and make sure that everything was cleaned up in there. That those kids back in the day, they had to have a job, and then they would work over in the cafeteria later. So Irv and I had talked a lot, and he was a terrific athlete out of northern Indiana. And just a great track man for a while. You played other sports in the time. And, of course, my first year at Northwestern, you played both ways. He was a defensive back and a receiver for Ara Parsegan, who was then the coach of the Wildcats.
Right.
So we had Herb, I had the comfort zone, and we had Phyllis. And as soon as she came on the air, her face just lit up the screen, and she was so comfortable to be with. Probably one of the more underrated females in the history of sports television. She was not an expert, but she didn't pretend to be either. But she was very, very comfortable for both men and women to have in the living room. And it was very important because women were not part of the sports broadcasting plan like they are today. Everybody has women, highly qualified, but Phyllis was one of the first to open the door. So away we went, and we checked in. Pat was then working with Tom Brookshire, and I don't remember which game that they were at. It was always the biggest game of the day on the CBS schedule. We checked in live, and there she went.
And then there you guys went. So it is true, though, that when you did say You Are Looking Live, that was towards a particular audience that might be interested in whether the weather would be affecting a certain score or.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, you're on the right. In other words, Rich,
yes.
My guys in the desert were at the very beginning. You know what I mean? Okay. Yeah, and then it became a trademark and a catchphrase, and we took it from there. But it did come through the director, Bob Fishman, who, by the way, is still directing games, still directs the Final Four for CBS.
Right.
And was a good friend of Fish's who liked to bet on NFL games. And he said, "Is there any way that you guys can let us know what the weather is?" Well, we didn't have enough time to do an entire weather report and to show things. I don't even think the Weather Channel existed at the time. But,
yes.
But regardless, I said, well, listen, we can show our key stadiums live, and they will know that. And so we took it from there. The first stadium we ever showed probably was in Chicago, but then we added Dallas, Los Angeles, down in town. I'll never forget one day in Tampa. I think a hurricane had been circling around. It was the heaviest rain I'd ever seen on a football field, and we showed live down in Tampa. And I'm sure that some of my friends in the desert ran to get the under on that particular game. So, yes, that's how it was born.
Right.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.